Hey guys, thanks for joining us today. Today we are doing a pre-recorded version for Friday. We wanted to make sure we got you guys a show, but at the same time, because of the holiday, we wanted to have ourselves a little bit of an early day. So we're doing a pre-recorded for you guys, so that you guys still get to see our ugly mugs. And then so you've got myself, Captain Coop, our talent, Major McFarland.
Hello.
And today we're kind of just gonna give everybody thanks for working on Thanksgiving and for helping us out the best that they can and all those times. So when it comes to the holidays, it's always a hard press for everybody. You know, it's always a time that we want to be with our family. We want to do stuff like that. And so for everybody who works on those days, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And, you know, those are the times that it really matters.
Yeah.
And so thank you guys so much for picking up the shifts and working those days.
Yeah, Coop does a really cool thing with the officers on duty. He delivers, it's kind of like a lunch or like a lunch dinner, like a late lunch, early dinner for everybody that's working. So if you are one of the few that are working the evening shift afternoon shift on Thanksgiving, you'll probably see this guy with some delicious.
You're talking about tomorrow, about yesterday.
Right. I forgot we're in the future.
Yeah.
Well, then you guys probably saw Coop if you were working.
I actually passed that on now, so I don't
Back
actually
to
go
the
out
future.
anymore.
Oh, well.
I pass that on to the patrol supervisors because those are the guys that see everybody, and then the sergeants of the sides and stuff like that. So those will be the guys that you guys see tomorrow.
Hopefully it was
today,
delicious. If
yesterday.
not, then you can complain to him.
But so yeah, he's right. And I hope everybody enjoyed the Thanksgiving meal that is I'm sending out. It's something that we've done. I think this is year 6 now, and it's a good tradition. I started it on a whim just because and just to see if it would work, and I did it without permission, and it worked out really well. And so now I continue to do it, but I have permission now, so there's a positive. But other than that, we just kind of wanted to have a quick thank you and stuff like that. But we did have some stuff I wanted to bring up about Thanksgiving traditions. So if you guys can, throw some Thanksgiving traditions in the comments for me. I kind of really interested to see what you guys do differently. I have a friend, their family for Thanksgiving, they call it the Thanksgiving Bowl, and it's a football tournament between all the family members. And they'll play football for like 6 hours, and then they'll go eat dinner because they'll get that massive appetite from running around and stuff. So, but they have it's called the Thanksgiving tournament or the Thanksgiving Bowl, and it's basically they do kids versus young kids versus middle aged versus the 20-year-olds to 30-year-olds, and then the 30-year-olds versus the adults, and then the winner is it's really cool. I mean, he's got a huge family, so it works, but. Mind you, it's only like 4 people per team, too. So it's not like it's a full football team. But
you just need a quarterback
really
and a wide receiver. That's all you need to get the ball down the field.
It's really cool that his family does that, and I'm interested to see what other Thanksgiving traditions are out there.
We used to do some. I mean, we didn't have a tournament, but basically, my brothers and cousins and I would all get out in the yard and just tackle each other for an hour or two. I mean, as we got older, we would kind of just throw it around, but. We actually, I don't know if we ever played like a full-blown game, but it was just kind of part of it. Have some mimosas on the porch and throw the football around. Yeah, that was some of my first memories. Like my first alcoholic beverages were around holidays because you get to.
My first one was
try some.
Was a blackberry wine on Thanksgiving, and it was the most awful thing I've ever.
I don't know if I'd like that, but
I did not.
So I mean, fruit. Obviously, grapes is. Traditionally how you make wine, but there's a couple of local wineries that do like they'll do like a blueberry wine or there's an apple.
There's
that my wife really likes, and I've had them and they're pretty good.
There's a winery. Is that what they're called? Wineries.
Yeah.
There's a winery down by my dad's place in New Mexico.
Yeah.
And I was stopped there while I was down there, and. Somewhere my dad liked to go and stuff like that. Well, I stopped there just to kind of see how it had changed. And wow, you want to talk about changes. But they had a lavender wine I'd never heard of before. And it's actually really good. And I'm not a wine person, by any means.
If you go to like a winery where they make it,
ribs really good.
Yeah, it's usually, just because how fresh it is, it's usually pretty good. It just depends, my sister used to work, or she still does. She's on baby leave, but she works for a winery that didn't add a lot of sugar, so it's kind of more vinegary tasting. Right. Some people prefer that, and so they obviously have their clients or their customer base that they sell to that obviously prefers that. My wife's a very much sweeter kind of like grape juice kind of wine, and so we go to that one in Weston called Purtle, and they have I think it's Mellow Red is what it's called. And literally, if you put a glass of grape juice in that wine, it's hard to tell the difference. So
Sounds like a good
it's
way to get into trouble.
Yeah, it's a good hot summer drink. Nice ice cold glass of wine with it. It's good. But then after a while, it starts to kind of give you that headache of just all the, of all the sugar. So I'm more of a dry wine fan if I were to
Not
pick.
really a wine guy.
I actually like wine. I didn't always, but again, that was something I did.
This is the third time I've caught myself looking over for comments.
Oh yeah, no, I don't have my comments so I can read them like this in front of everybody.
So
But,
in the comments, list off some Thanksgiving traditions. I'd be really interested in to see what you guys have for Thanksgiving
I'm
traditions.
trying to think food wise. We did obviously we do like the green bean casserole. My family makes. My sister now has been like she's the champion of it. Is a corn casserole. It's basically like a corn with breading and it's sugary and it's.
I've never had it, but I've heard of it.
It's so good.
My favorite, and this is going to come no surprise considering I'm still haven't lost all the weight I wanted to, is a pie that one of our supervisors makes, and it's a jalapeno peach pie.
Oh yes,
and it is the absolute best thing. And
it's phenomenal.
Oh, it's so phenomenal.
It is really good. I ate too much of it the last time he made one for me, and so it kind of like upset my stomach.
Oh, he made the last time.
I literally ate like
the
half
last
of it.
Thanksgiving he was here. He made me 4.
Yeah, I remember. Well, you and D.
Yeah. No,
made you guys like 2 each or
Oh,
something.
no.
that,
He made
or
me
4.
4.
Yeah.
For me alone.
Yeah,
I put 3 of them in my freezer, and I'd heat them up, and everything. Oh, it was amazing.
Oh yeah. I'm not a big pie guy, unless it's pizza pie. I like cheesecake.
That's true.
I'm an original, just plain Jane, just a classic New York slice. I'll add like if somebody puts like a strawberry,
raspberry, strawberry sauce?
strawberry or blueberry or something. Like if I'm out at like the Cheesecake Factory, I'll get like their Milky Way one or whatever. That's got like caramel, not caramel. Don't be weird. Caramel or they'll do like an Oreo cheesecake. That one's pretty good. But preference wise, I just like the regular. Now that we're talking about it, makes me want some cheesecake. I like carrot cake.
Carrot cake's
I'm not a
pretty
big cake guy either. I was pretty spoiled growing up. Whenever on my birthdays, I would always get ice cream cake because I don't like the texture consistency of cake. Some people love wedding cake. No, not for me.
Not really.
I don't really like icing
It's
either.
a fondant.
I'm a sweets guy. Fondue?
Fondant? No, the covering they put on wedding cakes. It's the fondant.
Sure. Somebody put that in the
I
comments.
don't
We'll
remember.
read it.
I think
Wait, no,
I'm
we
saying
won't.
it right. I don't think I might not be, but it's
We're from the future, so we can't read the comments. But put in the comment what you think it is. It sounds it's like fondant.
fondant or something like that.
Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, cake,
fourth.
desserts, apple pie. Let us know if you guys eat cheese with your apple pie. My grandma.
I have
my
heard
grandma
that.
swears by it.
I have heard it. I have not had the
We were just talking
temptation to
about
try
it the other day. She's getting up there. She's in her early 90s, and so she can't travel as well. It's unfortunate. So she's going to do Thanksgiving I'm originally from Omaha, so up in Nebraska. That's where she lives. And so unfortunately, I don't get to spend it with her this year. We'll FaceTime some of my cousins and see her and stuff, but it's not the same. She's just the sweetest woman ever. One of my favorite people. And anyway, I call her on the way home from work every once in a while, just kind of kill time, see how she's doing, and keep her sharp. And we were talking about it a couple days ago, and she said that she's sad because my mom makes really good apple pies, and that she doesn't. And so my mom's going to make one and send it to her. But and then she always says, "But you have to have sharp cheddar cheese." And I go, "That sounds awful."
I have heard it, and I've heard it a lot, but I have never had the.
It's like chili and cinnamon rolls. Like that's fantastic. I'll dip my cinnamon roll in the chili. Like it's so good. You didn't know about that?
No.
Oh, that's a Midwest thing. Dude.
That sounds worse.
That started at lunch. So like in the colder months of
You've
school.
never done that here, have you?
In like at work?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever made chili here. No.
Thank goodness.
Oh, dude.
Don't ruin it
Don't
in
knock
front of
until
me.
you try it.
No.
Something about the cinnamon with the savory chili flavor. Yeah, dude. It's like pineapple on pizza.
You know what we'll do is the next live show we'll bring.
Dude,
we'll
we've
bring
had
up
that conversation on this podcast.
I know,
before.
not that one.
The cinnamon and chili.
Have
Yeah, cinnamon rolls.
No.
100%.
I think I'd remember that.
Dude.
No, I wouldn't.
If somebody can find Deep Dive, I would almost be willing to give away one of Coop's cups, but I've already given away too many. I'm going to get yelled at for
Brian's gonna murder you.
If you're able to
I'll
find
bet you it's
the
around
podcast where we
Thanksgiving,
talk,
too.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it is last year. So if you go into the deep dark archives of our of me and him just blabbing up here, I'd be willing to bet probably like $20, maybe not much more than that.
Well, that's-
and I'm cheap, so. But we have had the conversation because it's
I know we've had the food
every
co-
like public, well, Midwest, and so to your defense, you grew up in the Southwest, but in the Midwest, like every public school had their chili day, like once, probably in the colder months, and they would always have a cinnamon roll because you'd have those old like prison trays, and
Yeah.
they had the square pizza,
Yeah.
which is delicious. Which
amazing.
actually, there's a online place you can go buy that exact pizza, even though it's disgusting.
the same.
Yeah,
It's not the
they had the pizza, the chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, I feel like every public school probably had the same or right around the same
I
type of
guarantee you it was the same.
budget and everything for food, so they weren't going all out. I'm sure the private schools had some nicer Grey Poupon, if you will. But yeah, Nugget Day was always Fridays and Wednesdays, I think, and then every once in a while they would do the Chili Day. And dude, you unroll the cinnamon
No.
roll and dip it into the chili. But there's also people that don't eat chili with beans, or they don't call it chili, or vice versa.
Well, see, and that's
if
the
it
thing
has
is,
beans, it's
me
chili.
being from the Southwest,
That's chili.
my
isn't it?
version of chili is different from the version of chili that you guys know.
Yeah.
And so when someone says chili, when I first moved here, when someone would say chili, I would think of our version of chili, which is a chili sauce.
Yep.
And I'd be like, you don't just eat chili sauce on its own. You're like, you gotta have chips or something. And they're
Yeah.
like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then I remembered because when we call it, it's still chili.
Right.
But 90% of the time when someone talks about chili where I'm from, they're talking about the chili sauce.
The stuff that you make.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
so
they're
it's
not-
like
and
a,
so
like a
it-
garnish or a dip or whatever. Yeah.
And so that's what we're talking about. Like 90% of the time when someone says chili
Yeah.
where I'm from, that's what they mean. So,
Well,
but
just ask some people that grew up around here. Ask them if they've ever had chili with their or
That's
cinnamon
so-
rolls with their chili. And
that's still weird.
I'd say 9 out of 10 Midwesterners would be like, "Oh, that was me." Yeah. But what else is there tradition wise? Mac and cheese. My wife's family does mac and cheese, which I love mac and cheese. But growing up, we never
We used to do a
had.
3 cheese, and then I evolved into a white cheddar.
Yeah, we've never. Growing up, we didn't. We had just the normal
But we did a-
turkey, ham. Some people.
We had a mac and cheese casserole.
Yeah,
So
I
it
mean,
was- it
it's
wasn't
got the
like-
breadcrumbs
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. Yeah. That's good too. Any kind of mac and cheese, I'm not going to say no to. But
That's true. But here's one for you. This is one that caught me recently. I was talking to, I think it was you, and I think it was Brian. I've talked to you a little bit about it. Cranberry sauce. So I know of cranberry sauce, and then I've always had 2 different versions of cranberry. There's cranberry sauce, not counting the full cranberries themselves,
Right.
but cranberry sauce and cranberry relish. I've always known it as 2 different things. The first time I brought it up, I think it was in front of you. You looked at me like I was crazy,
I've never heard of cranberry and relish used in the same sentence before.
but that's what it was called for me. And then I said it in front of Brian, and Brian looked at me like I was crazy. And both of you said that I'm crazy, and it's both called cranberry sauce.
Yes, 100%.
And so I've always known one is cranberry sauce and one is cranberry relish. So I'm going to throw it up on the screen here, and then I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds on each one, and I'm going to tell you which one I think is cranberry sauce versus cranberry relish. And then in the comments, if you guys want, let me know what your version is, or if I'm just crazy, which is completely possible.
Yeah, I'm still not sold on this cranberry relish thing.
And then we'll go from
I
there.
don't believe it exists.
So the first one I'm going to show is
the old
the
canned
cranberry.
cranberry.
Sauce, which comes in a can, or you can make it yourself like this,
Candy
like this recipe
yams.
calls for.
Yeah.
But this is cranberry sauce, and it comes in the can, and it's
Nothing about that says
But see,
sauce.
well, you're supposed to heat it up, and so
Oh,
it turns
ugh.
it into
no,
so-
dude,
into
you're
a
supposed to
sauce.
have the red or the cranberry can with the indentions. That's part of like
Yeah,
the
well,
Thanksgiving.
that's just a homemade version of it.
yeah.
But I mean,
It's got to come out of a can.
that's
like,
cranberry
where they're, like,
sauce.
And they like
Right.
slop it onto
But
a
see,
plate.
You heat that up, and it turns it into a sauce.
Okay.
And then the
Ours
next
has never
one
been heated up.
is the cranberry relish.
That just
and-
looks like cranberry sauce as well, in a different,
No,
different
but
way.
this actually has cranberries in it, and so that has the full.
yeah, the other
cranberries
one
and stuff.
that looks like it's made in a factory. This one looks like my mom made. it.
Right. But I've always been told that this is cranberry relish. Like that's what it's always been called for me.
That's
and
not
then
a
you have the
thing.
cranberry sauce, which comes in a can.
If you type in cranberry relish, they probably go, "I'm sorry, 404 page not found." It doesn't exist.
But yeah, so I mean, you guys in the comments let me know if I'm crazy, which is completely possible. But it's possible it's just a my family thing. I don't know.
Relish is for hot dogs.
100% regular relish. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the only relish.
No,
It's
that's
the only relish that exists.
like I said, different families. I don't know. And it could just
Pass
be.
me some more of the cranberry relish. Like the jaws would be like, huh? What? Like, you mean the cranberry sauce? But we're also from the country, so it's a little different. But maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's a New Mexico thing or
I'm
not.
interested to find out if it's just a me thing. But like I said, that's it was an interesting one when we
Cranberry
talk about
relish.
weird stuff like the cheddar cheese on apple pie. That's something to
cheddar
me that's
cheese. I'm trying to think of anything else that's weird that my or other families I know do. No.
that's
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
We went around, so we hosted last year because it was our first year at our new house, and we had some.
Do you have the Golden Gates in?
We did. We had a ceremony, a ribbon cutting, if you will, next to the Golden Gates. It was really bright because of the sun and the gold and the gates. And I hope everybody understands. As cheap as I am, if I had any ounce of gold that was on the outside of my house, I would cut it off and
He would
sell it.
lose it.
Yeah, I would sell it.
There's no way he would survive knowing that he has gold
No.
just sitting on his
I
house.
get the cheapest of everything except for
Darn it.
paper
we go.
towels. I do get a little bougie on the paper towels. I like the really absorbent. They're the purple, green, and yellow brand, and they literally you could use it like probably because I'm cheap. You could use it like there's like 5 uses before you have to throw it away.
He brings it out and rinses it and then uses
It's
it
like
again.
a Z word, but
I don't know.
and my wife goes because they're not cheap, and my wife goes nuts because I mean like a 16 pack or whatever is probably like 30,
Well, let me ask you this real
35,
quick.
40
'Cause I know
bucks.
when it comes to cheese, do you
Just Aldi.
do you buy like the cheap government style cheese? Or
Oh,
do
I
you
love government cheese. Yeah.
Okay.
Just the gross slice that's never gonna like ever
age or
erode
die?
yeah.
No.
Yeah. I put that in my ramen. Remember? That's what we talked
Yeah,
about.
I know that.
Yeah, I put
Mine's
cheese in there.
I can't, dude. It's if you go to cheese, you gotta buy the expensive stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. Sinead just gets I think it's Happy Farms is the name of the Aldi brand. Unless like a specific recipe for something we have calls for something else, so we just the generic. I need to start using block cheese instead of the
And shred it yourself.
pre-shredded.
Yeah.
Because the pre-shredded has a chemical on it that keeps it from clumping back together.
Well, it's the same thing they do with rice, which is why you wash your rice because they've got it's got excess starch, but they've also got chemical wax.
Yeah,
on
the
it,
last
like
time I made
apples
rice,
and-
that asked me to wash it. I was like, why the hell would I do that?
You gotta
I'm
wash
about
it
to
3.
just heat this.
No, you gotta wash it like 3 or 4 times to get all the
weird.
stuff off.
That is
You
weird.
wash and rinse it, so you put it in a thing of water and you jostle it around and rinse it.
Huh. Yeah, no, never. Well, and I finally,
It turns out way better.
apparently I've been living under a rock. I went to this. There's like a grocery store, Walmart, right here from the office, and so if I need to pick up something, it's just on my way. Because other than that, there's a Target, and then it's all highway to my house, and I have to go past my house, and I'm lazy, and so I don't want to have to drive further, and so I will stop at this one right here because it's actually really convenient. It's basically it's a Walmart, but it's a grocery store.
Yeah.
There's no like Walmart stuff. And they had these packs of like instant rice in a can. I've seen them in bags before,
Yeah.
like the instant bag rice. There's like 90-second microwave little jasmine.
can.
Well, like a plastic one.
Oh,
Like
okay.
you know how you can get those single made like
Yeah.
mac and cheese ones.
Yeah, like
like
that.
I lived off those in college. Yeah,
Yeah.
you just add water and
Mix it
stir
up
in the
and nuke
government
it.
powder cheese.
Yeah, you nuke it.
Yeah, nuke it. And anyway, I didn't know they made those. And so I was like, Sinead, look what I got. And she's like, dumbass, like, I've had those forever. I was like, what? No, I've seen the bag ones, but it's like the whole bowl and everything.
Never seen that before.
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic. 90-second rice. It's great. And they're
I've
like,
seen
I don't
Uncle
know.
Ben stuff that's
little-
90 cents in a bag.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've seen those, but I've never seen them like in their own container. So I thought that was really convenient.
lie.
It's one less dish
right.
you got to do.
Well, So I think that's going to be it. We're not going to go over the weather because it's pre-recorded and it's all going to change anyway. So, but we'll let you guys get to it. Enjoy your weekends. Thank you so much for those of you who worked on Thanksgiving. Thank you guys for continuing to come back and watch the show. We appreciate it so much. And everything you guys do allows us to continue to do stuff like this. So I say it all the time, and I'm going to continue to say it for the rest of my career here. We appreciate everything, guys.
Yep.
Other than that, enjoy your weekends. We will catch you guys live on Monday. Until then, have a safe weekend. Remember, hydration is key. It's the day before, not the day of.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, guys.